Yes, thank you, the honorable members of the Senate of the Philippines. On behalf of the Office of the Vice President, we thank the Senate for the opportunity to brief the esteemed committee on finance on our fiscal year 2023 budget, including the plans and programs. But let me just acknowledge the people who worked on our budget. We have here Attorney Zuleika Lopez, our Chief of Staff, Mr. Lemuel Artonio, our Assistant Chief of Staff, Attorney Rosaline Sanchez, our Director for Administration and Finance, Attorney Reynold Monsayak, our OVP spokesperson, Ma'am Julieta Villa del Rey, our Chief Accountant, Kelvin Jerome Tanido, our Chief Budget Officer, Caroline Lourdes Mangalili, our Chief Planning Officer, Norman Baloro, our Head of the Local Affairs and Special Projects, and Jeffrey Tupas, our Head of Media and Public Relations. At this point, may I request the presentation of our audiovisual on fiscal year 2023 budget, including the plans and programs, and thereafter we are willing to accept questions. Thank you.
The Office of the Vice President has been implementing programs, projects, and activities committed to help marginalized and underprivileged Filipinos. Now, the OVP has defined its mission is to deliver efficient, accessible, and responsive public services and programs that empower, in order to achieve its vision to reach, serve, and create lasting impact on the lives of the Filipino people. Thus, we wish to present the OVP's proposed 2023 budget to sustain our operations, continue our programs, and commence with our projected PPAs for next year. With less than 3 months in office, the OVP has already pursued 4 landmark PPAs in the field of social services. Medical and burial assistance, a program that has been a staple of the OVP since Vice President Noli de Castro. And new programs, Libreng Sakay, Disaster Operations Center, and Pagbabago Campaign. Through synergizing efforts with other agencies and OVP personnel, the OVP has delivered services to thousands of our in-need kababayans in various parts of the country. We are currently strategizing and putting proper mechanisms in place as we prepare to roll out more programs later this year and early next year, including Kalusugan food trucks, relief for individuals in crisis and emergencies, Peace 911, and the replication of Davao City's very own livelihood program for women and the LGBT community, Magnegosyo Taday. The OVP's goal to reach, serve, and create lasting impact is best realized when we connect with our grassroots constituents to cascade our programs. The OVP sees an opportunity for a more convenient and practical way to provide our fellow Filipinos access to basic social services through the establishment of our OVP satellite offices and the Disaster Operations Center. 7 OVP satellite offices were inaugurated in key areas. For Luzon, we have Dagupan City, Pangasinan. For Visayas, we have Tacloban City in Leyte, Cebu City in Cebu, and Bacolod City in Negros Occidental. And for Mindanao, we have Tandag City in Surigao, Zamboanga City in Zamboanga del Sur, and Davao City in Davao del Sur. The OVP satellite offices are mandated to replicate the services of the central office and become counterparts in our disaster relief operations. Meanwhile, the Disaster Operations Center is tasked to be our front line in disaster response and lead coordination with our local disaster risk reduction and management councils. Now, to provide an overview of OVP office operations centered at providing welfare to our countrymen and women, as well as the advocacies we are undertaking in the pursuit of unified development. Our Medical and Burial Assistance Program is funded as financial assistance or subsidy under the Annual General Appropriations Act. With various process and system enhancements, including further expansion through the establishment of satellite offices, this program supplements other government healthcare programs that assist poor, marginalized, vulnerable, and disadvantaged communities. From January to September 27, 2022, the total resources mobilized for medical assistance has reached 276 million pesos, serving more than 18,000 beneficiaries. In partnership with the Department of Transportation, the OVP launched Libreng Sakay. This is a free transport program that aims to provide relief to Filipinos dependent on public transportation to go to work, school, and other places. 5 buses have been deployed to transport passengers in Metro Manila, Bacolod, Cebu, and Davao on specific schedules. From the program's launch on August 3 to September 27, the program has served more than 84,000 passengers. The newly launched OVP Disaster Operations Center executed its first operation in response to the Abra earthquake on July 27, 2022. A total of 3,000 dining starter kits and 360,000 liters of bottled water were turned over to the Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office. The Pagbabago campaign is the newest undertaking of the OVP. The project, which shares school supplies with students, is an advocacy campaign of the office that aims to instill the value of education to school children. From July to September 27, the OVP was able to distribute 2,900 bags to various schools across the country. Through the RICE program, a special assistance food box is extended to families or individuals who are in need and are not eligible for medical, burial, or other forms of assistance under the existing programs of the OVP. The Kalusugan food trucks will be utilized in the event of disaster, conflict, or calamity as a mobile food kitchen, supplying food packs and other relief goods to affected areas in Visayas and Mindanao. The trucks will also conduct nutrition programs in schools to support children who are suffering from malnutrition, hunger, and poor health development. The OVP recognizes gender equality and acknowledges the value and potential contribution of women in various fields. Starting 2023, this program will further expand to men and the LGBTQIA+ community, with the aim of capacitating all program beneficiaries with knowledge, training, and skills that will help them become self-sufficient, productive, and empowered individuals. Through livelihood subsidies and trainings, the program aims to enable the beneficiaries to contribute significantly to their families and become of beneficial presence to communities they serve. Peace 911 is a national peace-building program that will help address issues in conflict-afflicted areas by bringing basic services closer to the people. This program aims to use the whole-of-nation approach in partnership with national government agencies, academic institutions, cooperatives, social enterprises, and the private sector. One of the OVP's greatest goals is to finally construct the permanent office of the Vice President, which will institutionalize the legacy of the office beyond any individual or administration, and more importantly, give Filipinos stable and easy access to our services. Over the next few years, the OVP will prepare to establish a permanent office, which will feature a ceremonial area, Museum of the Vice Presidents, Administrative Office, residential area, and headquarters for the security personnel detailed to the Vice President. To realize the impact the OVP envisions for the Philippines, to implement our programs, projects, and activities, the Department of Budget and Management has recommended a budget of 2.3 billion pesos for financial year 2023, vis-a-vis the 709 million peso proposal of the OVP, 223% higher than the financial year 2022 budget as appropriated. With the proposed budget to implement the OVP's plans and deliver efficient, accessible, and responsive programs in 2023, we are positive that the OVP will realize its vision for the Philippines and empower Filipinos across the country. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, VP Sara.
Thank you.
Congratulations on some of the innovations you've planning or implementing already. Is there anything else before we turn it over to the senators for any questions they may have?
That is it, Your Honor. We just want to leave as a permanent project the office and residence of the future vice presidents. And then for all the other projects that we are doing, that is based on the priority of the present staff complement of the Office of the Vice President.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Vice President. So now we'll turn it over to the Senate President if he has any questions. Go ahead.
Welcome to our Vice President. Thank you for the presentation.